So after the Joshua David Washington interview, several of you who were not able to make it to the live stream sent in your follow-up questions afterwards. I sent those ahead to him, and he was gracious enough to send back the audio file with him answering all of the questions. So here are his answers to all of your follow-up questions.
Hey man, it's Josh. Thanks for sending me the questions. I really appreciate it. I want to make sure I answer them, and typing was just getting too much, so I'm just going to answer them here. The first one, when you write your own music, is there a normal starting place, and do you write it with specific instruments in mind, or does that usually happen after it's written? Typically the normal starting place is the piano for me, because that's my primary instrument, although I do play bass and drums as well. I have written a couple of songs starting on bass before, but typically it's the piano. But lately, or not lately, as I've grown in writing, sometimes I really wish that I could have taken up or gotten more serious about the guitar, because there are times when I will write a song based on something I hear in my head, like a guitar. It's not even a lick. Sometimes it's just the way that the guitar plays the chords, as opposed to the piano. But usually when I write, my brain is kind of putting together everything at once. So the band or the instrumentation, the sometimes the backup vocals, sometimes even like the type of venue I'd want to play the song in or whatever. But yeah, my brain kind of bounces all over the place when I write. So I do think about instruments and all that stuff as I'm writing. Second question, if you could become instantly proficient at any one instrument you don't already play, what would it be and why? Again, guitar, because it has the same function as a piano as far as being able to play chords and lines and everything, but it's mobile, and it's just such a beautiful instrument. I mean, I would really be proficient in both classical guitar and jazz, and also like gypsy jazz and like that, like kind of Spanish guitar. That would definitely be it. Just I think it's really beautiful, and strings, something about being able to pull and pluck the strings. I just think it's a beautiful instrument. And the last one, would you put together a group for a performance? When you put together a group for a performance, do you usually hire groups of people already together, like a band, or do you usually pick individual musicians based on your relationship with them? The band is usually people the band is made up usually people that I am already friends with. The rhythm section, I should say. Horns as well. I mean, I've been blessed to have a big community of musicians that I can also call my friends. Everything from horns to strings to woodwinds to the rhythm section. So when I book musicians for gigs, I try to book the ones, especially like horns, who play together a lot, because there's already a synergy that we don't have to create. And then they also communicate between each other about certain tunes, and just it makes my job a lot easier, and it's just for the overall morale of the band. It's just fun when you get to play with someone that you know. When I'm on the East Coast, it's a little bit different because less people know me, but I still try to do it the same way. I know a few musicians, and so I ask one musician to connect me with people that they usually play with, and then build a band around that. And so now I do have a couple of bands on the East Coast that play for me sometimes, and they play together, if that makes sense. So yeah, thanks for the extra questions, and I really appreciate it. I'd love to come back on and be interviewed again. Working on some new stuff and a lot of exciting things ahead. So hopefully we'll talk soon. All right, thanks, man. Bye.